everybody, welcome to Joy Else, welcome. So basically, in this wonderful tarot card reading, this is going to be for Sagittarius. This is going to be for to be or not to be. So this is going to be for October 26th to November 6th of 2025. So basically, in this wonderful reading, I wanted to tell you all what's going to be happening in this situation of how it's going to be, and you have to believe it or not, and you have to understand about what's going on in the situation. No matter what's going to be true and nobody of how it is, but this is how it's going to be. It's like this is the way it kind of works in that way. You have to understand about your own experiences, about understanding, and this is the way it kind of is in this wonderful format. So this way of how it is in this way, and you have to figure out, okay, well, this just seems to be very interesting. You know what to do, but then you understand that, right? So you have to understand that when you believe in order to in your own circumstances, you have to understand that in that way, and you think, oh right, everything's going to be fine. Yes, but in that circumstance, you need to do what it is, and you have to know of how it is, right? So you're trying to do exactly what it takes in that way, and you think, oh right, everything's going to be fine. Yes, but you have to go with the flow, and when you go with the flow, you understand what's going on in that way, and you think, alright, well, everything's going to be fine and dandy and what have you. Yes, but you understand that, right? That's how it is. So you have to believe, and you have to understand what's going on in this way, and you have to know about it, and this is the way of how it goes, right? So this is how it is. But without further ado, without any questions, I hope that you all like this video and understand it, and it's the way it kind of goes. So you know what, Sagittarius, you need to pay attention of how you're going to be doing in that way, and you have to understand that, right? That's how it goes. So I'm gonna go from the way of how it is, and it's the way it seems to be because it's been a while, and you have to go with the flow in that way because it's the way it kind of is in that perspective, because this is the way it kind of is at the moment, and you have to believe that in how it is. That's the way it goes. So here we go. So this is a very interesting reading for you as Sagittarius, because this is the way of how it looks. Queen of Wands does represent charisma. It does represent Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, and that's the way how it looks. The Sun card yours, there's negativity there. The Eight of Pentacles yours, there's no perfection. Eight of Cups yours, there's no entertainment. The World of yours, there's incompletion. The King of Swords yours, there's no knowledge. So we have a different outcome in this situation, because this is the way how it works. But in that way, you have to have your own strengths, your own weaknesses, your abilities from the right and wrong perspective. That's all you can do. But this is the way how it is. So I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify between the Eight of Cups to the King of Swords and the World. The Queen of Swords is upright. The Ten of Cups is upright. The King of Pentacles is upright. Chariot yours. The Death card is upright. There's endings. The King of Swords yours, there's no knowledge. Seven of Cups yours, there's no delusion. And the Six Wands are there's basically celebration. So you might be due with another, King of Pentacles upright, that represents Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Ten of Cups represents Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Queen of Swords represents Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. The Death card represents Scorpio, but there's endings here, and the Six Wands does represent Leo, Aries, Sagittarius in that way. So things are going to be how it is, because this is like how it is. This is not a pop-up ad or anything like that. You know what I mean, right? But the way how this is, you need to pay attention to how you're feeling in that way, because you need to accept what you want and what you get and what you provide, Sagittarius, because things are going to be looking at in that perspective, whether you like it or not, but you have to accept on how it is in that way. You have to go from the distance. You have to know what it takes in that way. It's like, this is the way how it works, and when you have to do it, that's how it goes in that way. Let's read in this Eight of Pentacles to this Sun card and this Queen of Wands. Five of Swords card, there's conflict. Six of Cups card, there's the past. Emperor's Uranus, there's no nourishment. The Emperor Uranus, there's no structure. 3-1 star, there's communication. The Hierophant star, there's guidance. Yeah, because you want things to happen all at once, because you have to believe it, you have to achieve it, you have to do what's right, what's wrong. 5 stars, that represents conflict. I don't know why you're getting conflict here. I have no idea. But the way all this is, if you're thinking about the past, don't think about the past. Don't. But if you think about the past, everything is going to be into that perspective. You're thinking, well, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to. But the way how you're going to preside and persist, this is the way how it seems to be. You need to understand that from, the way how it goes from the left, right, and center in the situation. You're thinking, well, I know how it is. I know what's going to be happening. I know what to do. Yes, but in guarantees, you have to understand about having your own abilities to understand that from the right or wrong perspective. That's all you can do. But vice versa. That's how it goes in that way. So you have to know what's right. So let's see what's in the situation. The Hierophant are right. There's guidance. Obviously there is, because when you have guidance, you know what it takes in that way, and you have to go with the flow. That's how it is. So let's see what's going on for you, Sagittarius. From October 26th to November 6th of 2025. Let's see. So I'm going to go from the left side. Let's see. Sagittarius, there's no conflict. Knight of Cups, there's romance. King of Cups, there's no support. 2 of Cups, there's no relationships or friendships, right? That's how it goes. So, biologically, you have to pay attention on how you're feeling in that way. It's like, well, this can be very intense. Yes, it is. But the way how this is, you have to go with the flow in that way. What's between on the left side, please? The Knight of Wands, there's no fear. 10 of Wands is separate. There's burdens, and 2 Wands, there's completion. Yes, because everything is going to be all completed in that way. Because you want things to happen all at once. If you have all these burdens, it's like, well, this is how it is. Let's face it. But the way how this is, you need to pay attention on how you're feeling in that way. Where you have to go with the flow, where you are going to have your own basic needs, basic wants, basic qualities, because you understand that. That's how it goes from the right and wrong perspective. Let's be on the right side, please. Queen of Cups, there's no empathy. The Chariot, there's progress. The Magician, there's skill. Obviously, there is, because when you look at it in a different perspective, that's all you can do. But you take your own risk, you take your own abilities to understand that, because that's how it goes. It's like, you need to understand to believe that everything is making progress in different ways. Sagittarius, you need to pay attention on how you're feeling in that way. Knight of Swords, there's no drama. 10 of Swords, there's basic conclusions. 6 of Swords, there's no movement. 5 of Cups, there's no grief. 10 of Swords, there's no healing. Emperor Uranus, there's no structure. Hierophant Uranus, there's no guidance. Knight of Swords, there's no trauma, and the King of Swords, there's knowledge. Yes, that's the way of how it works, because in that way you think, alright, everything's going to be fine, alright, this is how it goes. Yes, but this is how it is. You're trying to master your own skills to understand that, right? This is the way of how you're going to plan this out. So let's see, so I'm going to go from the left side. 8-1 Spirits, there's no speed, alright? King of Spirits, there's no leadership, right? Emperor, there's no structure. 2 on Shower, there's planning. Alright, so this is the way of how it goes. This is the way it's going to be. So let's see what's going on here. So I'm going to clarify. I love that word. I'm going to clarify this 8 wands here. So we'll do one card here. So the Hermit card is solitude, because you might be looking for a soulmate, or maybe you're in hermit mode, maybe you're going to wait, maybe, but that's how it goes. What's that? Okay, so we have the High Priestess reverse, so there's no inner voice. What's on the right side? The Star is ever, there's inspiration, so you wish upon stars, and the Judgment is you're taking action. Obviously there is, so let's do more clarification. So I'll do 2 cards for the Hermit card. Wheel of Fortune Tarot, you're having good luck. The Tower reverse, there's no transformation. So everything's not changing. But when you have the Wheel of Fortune, that means that you're having good luck on your side. That's, that's how it goes. Sagittarius. So that's how it seems to be. What's this High Priestess about? Tarot reverse, there's no progress. And the Hammer reverse, there's no restrictions. But when you're not making progress, it's like things are not going as planned. But then when you have the Hangman reverse, there's no restrictions, whatsoever. But that's how it goes in that way. What's this Star card about? The Hermit is already there's solitude. The Moon reverse, there's no misrotations. Yeah, because you're in hermit mode. Maybe you're looking for a soulmate. Maybe you're not going to look for a soulmate. It all depends on you, because that's how it goes in that way. Where you're trying to make progress. You're trying to know how it is. You're not trying to intervene. You're not trying to know what it takes, but you know what I mean, right? That's how it goes. What's this Judgment about? The Sun card is right, there's positivity. Judgment reverse, there's no action. So, that's how it goes, where you have to believe in that situation to know what it takes in that way. So, let me clarify this tarot card. The Hangman reverse, there's no restrictions, right? What's between this Chariot and this Hangman? The Empress, alright, there's nourishment. Alright, so that's how it goes. What's between this Hermit and this Moon? The Hermit is alright, there's solitude. Yeah, because you're looking for a soulmate. What's between the Sun card and this Judgment? The Justice, alright, you're telling the truth. Alright, that's how it goes. Alright. What's between this Hangman situation? The Devil's alright, there's obsessions. Ooh. Yeah, see? Things are going to work out as they go, but when you're in this negativity, everything is just drawn to it, right? That's how it goes. It's like, why are you having this situation? No matter how it takes, no matter how it's going to have this whole entire situation, and this is how it goes. So let's see what's in the middle of this situation. Knight of Pentacles, so right, there's trust. Yeah, because you want trust in this situation. You want things to happen. So, that's how it goes. But biologically, this is like almost a 50-50 chance, right? You're trying to have abilities to understand that you're not doing it or they're not doing it. It all depends on you, says Harris, because you're trying to you want things to happen all at once, right? That's how it goes. But you have to have your own peace of mind, because you have to try to understand that you're trying to transfer your own decisions, your own ways, your own how it is, right? This is how it goes. So it's like things will be happening all at once, but this is how it seems to be. So I'm going to go from the middle to the left, middle to the right. 10 Pentacles, alright, there's wealth. 3 Cups reverse, there's no celebration. King of Pentacles, alright, there's security. Alright, what's this Empress card about? Knight of Pentacles, alright, there's trust. Empress, alright, there's structure. And the 5 Pentacles reverse, there's no insecurity. 3 Pentacles reverse, there's no excitement. Just reverse, there's no skill. 8 Cups is upright, there's satisfaction, right? So you want things to be happening all at once, because that's how it goes, right? That's how it seems to be. What's on the right side? Ace of Swords, right, there's understanding. The Tower reverse, there's no transformation. Queen of Wands reverse, there's no charisma. Page of Pentacles, right, there's prospects. Alright? And what's between the Justice card? 10 Cups card, there's completion. Strength of reverse, there's no bravery. 2 Swords is upright. You don't know, you're at the crossroads. You don't know which direction you're going to take, left or right. So let's see who's on the left side. For one sword, there's celebration. Right side is fulfillment. Alright? What's the middle of the situation? The Emperor is upright. There's nourishment. Alright? What's the middle of the situation? The others is upright. You're making decisions. Yeah, because whenever you have to face the abilities, you understand what it takes in that way. It's like you need to understand that. You need to accept what you're doing in that way, and you think, well, this is going to be very interesting. This is how uncertainty this is, but this is the way it seems to be. So, you know what? This is how it goes in that way. This is the way it is in that way, right? So this is how it is. But, you know, before I let you go, Sagittarius, you need to pay attention to you're making decisions. You know, the universe is saying, you know, to be or not to be, to make decisions, right? But that's how it goes. You have to pay attention because when you're making decisions, you know what it takes in that way, where you need to accept and have your own responsibilities from that way, from the own get-go of the situation or whatever it is. It's the way about how to reflect and make your own peace of mind and your own decisions and your own abilities and everything else, right? This is the way how it goes. It's like you're trying to understand about, believe that everything's going to be all good, but then you understand that you need to take your own risk, you take your own abilities, you have to accept and everything else, right? This is the way how it goes. So if you're showing your independence, if you're showing about how you're going to do things on your own, fine. But that's how it goes, right? This is the way how it works. So you're going to regulate your own ways about what to do next in that way, and that's how it goes. So I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please give a comment if you want, and this is the way how it works. This is how it seems to be. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you. Already. Thank you, and thanks, and